Hi again, it's Shelly Reef, Sunny Sailor, here again, and my cruise news today is all about our missionary friend, Paul. Paul used many boats in God's service. It is a common form of transportation in Bible times. Paul had just finished witnessing to a group of people in the city of Berea in Greece. It was so exciting. The people there were eager to listen to Paul. They were reading their Bibles daily and really searching what the scriptures had to say. The heavenly angels were right there with them, helping the Bereans to understand everything the Bible taught. Next, God sent Paul on a boat to the city of Athens. Now, we don't know much about what the voyage was like. The Bible doesn't tell us. We do know the powerful work Paul was able to do when he got there, though. The boat to Athens brought Paul to a city with many heathens, or those who didn't know anything about God. They were very intelligent people. Athens was a center of learning. They studied the arts and philosophy. They discussed politics and attended theaters to watch plays for their entertainment. Everywhere you looked in Athens were statues of their gods and their heroes. They had magnificent architecture and paintings that portrayed how they worshipped their false gods. When Paul arrived in Athens, he wasn't impressed by expensive buildings and grand statues. He was more concerned about people's hearts. He looked at the beauty around him and saw the results of their idol worship. He felt sympathy for these people because everything they worshipped was meaningless. Without God in their lives, all of this meant nothing. So, in this great city where God was not worshipped, Paul began to sit among the philosophers and introduce them to the one true God whom they had never met before. His teachings were so new and strange that it attracted many people. They were prepared to ridicule Paul and make fun of his teachings, but as they listened, they recognized that Paul had a greater knowledge than any of them. They listened with respect and learned from his convincing arguments. The people of Athens were so impressed with Paul that they took him to Mars Hill, one of the most sacred spots in Athens, Greece. This was a religious place where they discussed their own false gods and spiritual things. It was the perfect location for Paul to make the waves for Jesus. He was away from the busyness of the city crowd. It was quiet, and Paul could be heard without interruption. Artists, poets, and philosophers gathered around to listen to the message Paul came to preach. He calmly told them of the unknown God, the Creator God, who was so much more powerful than any of the gods of their own design. The true God can't be contained to statues and idols. They couldn't begin to capture the glory of our great God. Many of the Athenians continued to hold tightly to their incorrect beliefs, but there were some whose hearts were changed at Mars Hill. Dionysius, one of the most prominent citizens, accepted the gospel message that day, and a treasure of knowledge was left for the people of Athens so that many would have the option to learn about and choose the true God for many years to come. We don't know the name of this important ship that carried Paul to Athens and Mars Hill, but we do know that a great work was done in the hearts of men because of its safe journey across the sea. I'm so thankful that God gave Paul safe passage on this ship to Athens.